Hi, Assalamualaikum. Today, our group will be presenting Morphology Presentation Episode 4, This Earth, This Realm, This England, by Amira Roslan, Azri Rahman, Azniza Kutum, and Zarifah Zahari. In 60th century, trading becomes one of the biggest factor in spreading English language and also English language absorbing new words from other languages. Words such as crew, detail, passport, progress, mustache, and explore are from the French. Words from Spanish and Portuguese are embargo, tornado, canoe, and port. Words from the Dutch: keyhole, smuggle, decoy, yacht, cruise, reef, knapsack, and landscape. Although it is a swear word, it is a swear word that came from the Anglo-Saxon, the Low Dutch from the sailors. The words are fucking, crap, and bugger. Alongside that, new words of delicacies are taken by English and being used up until now. Words such as apricots, bananas, lime, mandarin, yams, potatoes, anchovies, cocoa, maize, and port wine are from Spanish and Portuguese. Chocolate and tomato from the French, "Shi" from Chinese, bamboo and ketchup from Malay, curry from Tamil, and also from 16th century, yogurt and hot from Turkish, bazaar and turban from Persia, coffee, magazine, and alcohol from the Arabic. It wasn't just from the girls. English artists, scholars, and aristocrats explored Italy, and its culture brought them new ideas and new words such as balcony, which is pronounced by the Italian balconi, fresco, villa, cupola, portico, piazza, miniature, and designer, and also opera, violin, solo, sonata, soprano, trill, cameo, and carnival.
Hi, my name is Nur Azmina, and I will continue the presentation. So, even though a fair amount of new English words are all thanks to the traders, the biggest influx of English words are actually from the classical languages, which are Latin and Greek. So, back in the 16th century, English scholars are so committed in reviving Latin. Latin back then is the language of religion and the language of classical thoughts, science, and philosophy. Now, they are just used in ceremonies at Oxford University. English scholars wrote and spoke Latin to ease their communication with European scholars, especially during a discussion or debate session. From these educated people, we have English words such as excavate, horrid, pathetic, pungent, frugal, premium, specimen, manuscript, and lexical. There are also new English words on the new concepts, techniques, and inventions from continental Europe during Renaissance. Words like atmospheric, chaos, critic, astronomers, explain are all from classical languages, including the word concept, invention from Latin, and technique from Greek. Development of medicine field are also thanks to the classical languages, as we have brought a lot of new Greek or Latin origin words, such as skeleton, tendon, tibia, larynx, glottis, pancreas, sinuses, thermometers, tonics, and capsules. From Latin origin words, there are new words such as temperature, parasites, viruses, pneumonia, delirium, and epilepsy in the medicine field. While in the 20th century of innovations, technological terms like plutonium, internet, quantize, audio, and video are all from Greek words, while recently, quantum computation is actually a fully Latin phrase. However, due to the objection from scholars and critics to the incursion of Latin and Greek words in creating new English words, a national uproar has happened, and it is called Inkhorn controversy. Inkhorn controversy is the first formal dispute where everyone has this consciousness or concern over what English language was and how it should be. This is Sir John Chick, the key figure for the Inkhorn controversy. Even though he is a classicist and the first Regius Professor of Greek in Cambridge, he stands by his opinion that English should not be polluted by other tongues. He also insists that English should return to its Anglo-Saxon roots, which is Germanic. So to do that, he has invented words as replacement for Latin-influenced words, such as cross for crucified, gain rising for resurrection, color for publican, moon for lunatic, and hunderter for centurion. He compared influenced English words to a bankruptcy and a counterfeit to the pure English. Little did he know that bankruptcy, counterfeit, and pure aren't from Anglo-Saxon roots, but from Latin-based languages, which are Italian and French. He also wrote an English entry in a book fully in Latin in King's College as an act of rebel. However, his effort and his supporters' effort, everything goes in vain because they simply cannot hold or stop or control the evolvement of English language. The series of events that had happened had become the building blocks for the English that we use today, which is the modern English. Nowadays, Latin origin words such as industrial, exaggerate, mundane, commit, transmit, and the other words in the list had become so common, even though back in the early days it is so odd to use them. English had sparked interest from the Queen of England herself and also the young William Shakespeare. This remarked the beginning of English to lay down the foundations on becoming the world's language.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Zarifa, and I will be presenting about the history of the first ever English dictionary. The first English dictionary was produced in 1604 by Robert Cordray, and the term dictionary came from its Latin origin word dictionarius, which was used in the year 1225 by another English scholar. Now, to better understand the history of the dictionary, I will be answering three questions. The first is, what is in the dictionary? Second, for whom the dictionary was made for? And the third is, why the dictionary was made. Robert Cordray actually referred to the dictionary as the table alphabet, which is very much understandable because the book lists down thousands of words alphabetically and provides a brief explanation for those words. Now, in terms of its contents, the dictionary contains 2,543 words, and specifically, as noted on the first page of the dictionary contains hard words and words that are borrowed from Hebrew, Greek, Latin, and French. So a few examples of the words in the dictionary are abandon, meaning to leave, summarily, meaning briefly, geometry, meaning the art of measuring the earth, quadrangle, meaning four angles, radiant, meaning shining bright, and empire, meaning kingdom. So from this, we can observe that these words are still in the dictionary that we use today, but a difference that we can see is that some words are spelled differently, but they still carry the same meaning. Next, the question for whom the dictionary was made for. Now, this dictionary was actually made for people who might not understand some words they might hear, or some words They might read from scriptures or sermons that they don't understand. Some other differences between the first English dictionary and today's English dictionary is that the first English dictionary did not contain simple everyday words like shoes, cold, fish, love, and dress, whereas we can find those words easily in today's dictionary along with other everyday words. Secondly, the difference is the first dictionary was primarily written for commoners and not necessarily for scholars. Today, dictionaries can be used by anyone and everyone from students to scholars, regardless of their status. Because the English language was growing and there were more words forming, people became more interested to learn and use the language. So the types of good education that was available for them included rhetorics, public speaking, and composition. So we can observe here that those subjects are still being taught and learned today. There was one particular person who excelled in those subjects, and that person was Queen Elizabeth I. Queen Elizabeth I is the monarch and the Queen of England. She excelled in many things. For example, she managed to become a spokeswoman, a speechwriter. She could translate French and Latin texts to English. She was also fluent in 6 languages, and she was very passionate in poetry. And all this came to no surprise, as she also had her own set of private tutors. Since the English language was growing, literature became a very good reflection of the language's growth. And English literature needed somebody to really help promote English literature, and that person is Sir Philip Sidney. Sir Philip Sidney is a very prominent, a very important figure in literature. So who is he? Sir Philip Sidney is Queen Elizabeth's courtier, someone who is a companion in the royal court. He was the Queen's ambassador abroad. He was a very brave soldier, and ultimately he was a poet. He has made significant contributions, very enormous contributions to the English world. Firstly, he made new adverbs and new forms of speech. For example, the word scratchingly, eye-pleasing, hangworthy necks, long with love-acquainted eyes, and honey-flowing eloquence. Next, he made new words by turning nouns into verbs, and he used words that were never used in the literary language before, like scummy, dumb-stricken, miniature, and bugbear.
Hi and Assalamu alaikum. My name is Nur Amira Sofia binti Roslan, and in the next slide I will be presenting the English languages in 1519s. At this time, in London, the prostitute and the thieves have their own slang, aka the languages of the streets. Their slang mostly are using single syllable words and just a plain speech. For example, cove means man, fumble means fans, gang means mouth, panam means bread, and skipper means a barn. However, these words actually not really survive in today's language. At the end of 16th century, in the year of 1599, where the Globe was built to attend the commercial playhouse, the language was the means of choice to captivate the audience. At this time, William Shakespeare made his mark on English language. Next, Shakespeare's contribution to the English language. Over 400 years ago, many vocabulary in his work has been used in today's language. This word had covered 2,000 words that we are using today. So, in our words in English language today, we had used in our vocabulary from his work. For example, the words are obscene, barefaced, reliance, accommodation, and leapfrog. So Shakespeare's influence by the language of ideas at the end of 16th century, and his language is still influenced the English today. His words and images define the way we think. Next, it is about in-horn controversy. So what is in-horn controversy? In-horn controversy happened when there are people who supported the idea of borrowings and coinages in language. So what is in-horn controversy relation with Shakespeare? Well, Shakespeare involved in in-horn controversy as he used both Latin words and create new words in his writing. For example, emulate, demonstrate, dislocate, initiate, and meditate. There are also compound words invented by Shakespeare himself, such as hugger-mugger, widow comfort, baby eyes, fair play, and pell-mell. There are also some of the Shakespeare's words that don't survive in today's language. The words include cadent, questris, tortive, soiler, abruption. The longest word invented by the Shakespeare himself is honorificability dignitatis, which means the state of being able to achieve honors, also does survive in today's language. And finally, always remember the Shakespeare's famous phrase, which is to be or not to be, that's the question. And that's all from me. Thank you.